everybody, and welcome to Memory Keeping Friday. Today is the beginning of March. Today is March 2nd, and I wanted to share with you guys my setup for March for my project life, and then I wanted to give you an overview of some of the things that I've done for January and February. I got my title page all finished. So for this title page, I am using the Stampin' Up designer paper. It is the Petal Passion. And then I also, throughout this, I used in February, I used the Petal Passion Project Life cards, or Memories and More cards from Stampin' Up. So I have my title page all done, and I got my photos in of all of us. So I just did this in the last couple weeks. I have my 2018, and then the back of it has the photos of everybody, and then this very next page has photos of our house, the outside of our house. So I did just get a couple photos printed. I have been doing all of my spreads, and we've been talking about it in my membership group. So they've seen me put together January and February, and then they're seeing process videos for my Project Life spreads. I have two photos in January that I could not find to get printed, so I had to come up with something different. So I just got that done. So in January, I used a designer paper set from Echo Park, and it was a winter set. And then I'm also loving these pure black Project Life cards that have like these writings on them. A lot of these are from Ali Edwards. This one is from Ali Edwards, and then this one is from Ali Edwards. But I also have printed some Project Life cards that are like that because I happen to be using them as a repeated element throughout my album, and I'm really loving that. Here is an insert that I had done. There was some work that was happening, that is happening in our small little town, and there was an article written in the Sacramento Bee, and so I just pulled that off. You know, I went online and I pulled that story and printed it out, and then I also took the pictures that they had used and put that as an insert, and then this is a photo that I took up where the work was happening. So I did a little insert on that. Here's that other photo I was talking about. And then here's an insert. I just need to finish the journaling. I probably should do that today, and I need to get a stamp on here, and then that will be it. But January is pretty much all wrapped up. And then we have February, which is when I'm using the Memories and More cards, and then I'm also using the designer paper that I used in my title page, and I really love this paper. So here we go with the couple weeks in February that are all finished. I just have a couple sticky notes where I need to still journal, but all my photos are pretty much dropped in. I need to decide if I'm going to do an insert with that, do my dates up. Again, I'm doing all of this in my Simply Document group with the members that are there. I have photos all printed for this, and then I have a live workshop that I'm going to be doing with these photos. These are 4x4 photos, and they're going to go in this insert right here, and that's going to be a live workshop that I'm doing again with my membership group. So I have all these photos. I just got them picked up yesterday. So here is March, and for March I am using the Currently Core Kit, and it matches really great with my calendar here with the colors. That was kind of unintentional, but even my divider matches really well. This is one of my favorite core kits because it's simple. It's, you know, just everyday stuff. It's not, doesn't have, you know, a bunch of florals. It doesn't have a bunch of bold cards. It's not really themed necessarily towards any one. It doesn't feel like any one season to me. So this is a great kit to use. So I have my cards in. So I do something that I refer to as foundation pages, and I do that for the months in my Project Life album. So right now I have foundation pages set up all the way through May. And that is so that I can stay on top of my Project Life album. And this way I can move things around, and nothing is set in stone. I mean, these cards can be moved out. I can change things around. But you can see as I have my foundation pages set up here, all I have to do is drop in photos. And if I don't have time to do anything else, then that ends up being okay. So for March, I'm using that Currently kit. It's all set up. We have this first week in March, which is week 9. And then you can see I go into the next week. This card is not from the Currently kit, but it worked really well for it. So again, I'm using some cards I printed out from the Project Life app on my phone, and I'm really wanting to use some solid black Project Life cards that have writing on them. And I'll drop those in this week. I didn't have them printed when I put this week together, or this month together. So I need to do that, but that's just an element that I'm using that's repeating through the months. And so that's helping me to feel the that my album is coming together and it's looking cohesive and it's feeling cohesive. And I use it, really, I'm using those black Project Life cards as a embellishment almost. So let me grab some and show you what I mean. I went a little bit crazy when I got these printed. Now some of these are just actual Project Life cards, which is how this started. There's a chunk right here. These are Allie Edwards cards right here that I get in her kits. But what started it was, and then these are all just regular Project Life cards that I've pulled out of my kits. But then all of these back here are ones I've printed from the Project Life app. And I just went through all the kits that I owned, and I picked out all black cards that I liked. I saved those to my camera roll, and I printed them through where I get my photos printed. So they're on photo paper, which is totally fine with me. I don't mind. And then I have these cards that I can use, and then I even got some 4x6 ones printed. So I love being able to do this. It really gives me an option. And you guys, I really did go crazy. It was probably not necessary to get all of these printed, but I really wanted to have a lot on hand. The ones that are corner rounded are ones that I had on hand, and most of them are ones that came out of kits. And then the ones that aren't are the ones that I got printed. So what I like doing, what I'm finding that I'm liking doing this year is adding these black cards throughout my spreads. So here's one that came from an Allie Edwards kit, but there's a couple back here. This one right here. And then what I'm doing is just like adding one a week basically. That's how I think it's probably going. And then my weather app, I changed the settings so that it was a black background. So it's like I feel like now I have this element of the weather shot in here, so I don't necessarily need one of those black cards maybe. So then we have this. I'm trying to still decide if I want to do this as a insert, but then here's a 4x6. So I feel like I have that element repeated in that week. And then there's this one that's repeated. And then again, I didn't have those cards printed out when I did March, so I'll probably maybe swap it out for this card. I could put one of my black cards in here for that element, and it would be fine. I'll do that when I come to March and when I'm getting my photos printed and adding them in. So here's week 10, and then week 11, 12, and then week 13 goes into, okay, so this is the last week of March here, and I just need to add my cards because I was 1 week short for March. And then in April, I go into the Clementine Core Kit. So this is how my album is set up. This makes it really easy, again, for me to just stay on top of things. Whenever I'm working within a week, I'm always flexible. I can always take cards out. I can change things out depending on what I'm wanting to do or the feel that I'm going for. And so I love that. So it's really helpful for me to be able to set up those foundation pages. So you guys, I hope you've enjoyed seeing the way I have my album set up. I will have photos over on my website of March or of February, of how February has turned out. And then also I will have photos of how I have March set up, so you can check that out. You can check out a supply list in the very bottom of the YouTube description if you're looking for any of the supplies I used that are Stampin' Up related. And then I'll be back next week, you guys, to hopefully launch Just Because with my Just Because series with Chris. Hopefully that will launch next week, and we will be doing a whole lineup of projects for that. I hope you guys are having a great day. We are having a very stormy weekend and maybe expecting snow. So I am planning on doing a lot of project life this week. So I would love for you guys to follow me over on Instagram or my business Facebook page where you guys could see what I'm doing. I love sharing when I'm working on things. And so I'm hoping to do that this weekend. I'll link all of those items below, and then you can always check out my coordinating blog post. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and watching my videos. Here are 2 other of my most recent videos. I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will catch you in my next video. I hope you all have a wonderful day.